Perform in Tokyo on Saturday night and be in Vegas for the Super Bowl Sunday night. We are doing all of the time traveling math for you next. Don't go away.
Well, it's Monday, means it's now time to check out the latest entertainment stories from over the weekend.
You know, we depend on Elisa Henry to fill us in on everything that's been happening. A lot going on this past weekend. My phone, I feel like every time I was, updating it or moving my whatever timeline, it was like the same stories over and over again.
Right. Things that were flooding your timeline all weekend.
Right.
So let's talk about it now. Don't call it a comeback, but that's what it seems to be for pop superstar Justin Timberlake. Not only did he release a new single called Selfish, but he also announced his world tour. Now, unfortunately for Central Ohio fans, he is not coming here, but he will be in Cleveland on July 7th. And we can't really talk about Justin Timberlake these days without some mention of his long ago ex-girlfriend, Britney Spears. She also released a song called Selfish way back in 2011, and her fans stormed it up the iTunes charts over the weekend, making it #1 and pushing Timberlake's new single down to #2. And it wasn't just Selfish that has returned to the charts for Britney Spears. The music video for both Oops, I Did It Again and I'm a Slave for You occupied the top 2 spots on iTunes music video chart, as well with Timberlake's new video trailing behind at #3. Now, as for Britney herself, she did share a clip on Instagram of Timberlake singing with Jimmy Fallon and wrote, "I want to apologize for some of the things that I wrote about in my book. If I offended any of the people I genuinely care about, I am deeply sorry." She added, "I also wanted to say I am in love with Justin Timberlake's new song, Selfish. It is so good. And how come every time I see Justin and Jimmy together, I laugh so hard?" So it doesn't seem like Britney has any bad blood with him, but her fans weren't having it.
Listen, Britney's fans, they are in a league of their own.
They
go hard, and this just shows the...
How do they do it? Do they just play the song a lot? How does
play
it
the
go
song a lot, and then they were calling radio stations, begging radio stations to play this song that came out 17 years ago.
Okay.
It's
That's
been
her
that
fans.
long, 17 years. Oh my gosh.
Well, and are you ready for it? Because Taylor Swift's boyfriend is headed to the Super Bowl. Now, after the Kansas City Chiefs clinched their AFC victory over the Baltimore Ravens, social media was flooded with on-the-field pics of Taylor Swift and Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce celebrating his big win. It was a huge game for Kelce, who officially passed NFL legend Jerry Rice for the most postseason catches in NFL history. The two were surrounded by cameras as they hugged and kissed. I think we can officially confirm that Taylor Swift is in her NFL WAG era. WAG, of course, is wives and girlfriends of professional ball players. Commissioner Roger Goodell may owe her a friendship bracelet. The pop star led the NFL to its highest regular season viewership among women since it began tracking back in 2000. And since she started lending her star power to the family suite, experts estimate she's added about $330 million in value to the Kansas City Chiefs and the NFL overall. But will Taylor Swift be at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas on February 11th? Here's where it gets interesting. I spent all morning figuring out this math. So Taylor starts the international leg of her Eras Tour February 7th. She's scheduled to perform in Tokyo 4 times the week leading up to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Her final show is in Japan on Saturday, February 10th at 6 p.m. Tokyo time. The Super Bowl is the next day, February 11th at 6:30 Eastern time, but 3:30 Pacific time in Las Vegas. Are you guys still with me?
Yes.
Something.
Tokyo is 17 hours ahead of the West Coast. So if Taylor leaves at 1 a.m. Sunday morning after her concert,
oh boy,
a 12-hour nonstop private jet would have her traveling back in time and put her in Las Vegas around 8 p.m. on Saturday night.
Yeah. It can be done
like,
is what.
Figured it out.
I feel like, first of all, kudos to you, because math for many of us in this industry is a very hard thing.
I
mean, you did it, and I understood it, and I followed it, so that gives you even more props.
Yeah.
But I feel like if she's not there, it's going to be a huge disappointment for all this building that's been happening. So there's just, the stakes are too high that she won't.
She's got to be there. It's going to be a long flight, but it's a private jet. She can
Now, she has said that when she does her tour, her concerts back to back like that, like 4 nights in a row, that she's so tired, can barely walk, doesn't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
So
we may see her in the suite just like this.
just like
eyes half open, just trying.
I hope they win. And I hope Travis proposes to her on the field.
Oh,
it'll be
my goodness,
amazing.
Elisa.
That would be amazing.
You're just like predicting the future. Do you think it's going to happen?
I mean, listen, Phil, I know people are over it. But
I think it might be.
I'm not over it.
For her.
I'm fine with it. I don't really care.
It's exciting. It's exciting.
It's
even if
a
you're not
nice
a big
story.
Swiftie. Yeah.
It's a nice story.
It is.
If she does all that, he owes her something, and a ring would be great, right?
Right.
It's just a little early for marriage, and they've only been dating what?
They could be engaged
Since
like
the
5
middle
years.
of the season.
YOLO. Life's too short.
They're in their 30s.
You know. You know.
They're celebrities. Who
You're
cares?
right.
Exactly. Divorce is just as easy, I guess, right?
Right.
Well, finally, Gru is back.
Hello, everybody.
Gru, what's up?
Wait a minute. 3 girls, 1 wife. Something is missing.
This guy.
Oh, there's my boys.
Despicable Me 4 has released its first trailer for the film, which hits theaters on July 3rd, continuing the popular animated franchise. It follows the reformed supervillain Gru, voiced by Steve Carell, trying to do good and finding family while he's at it. Kristen Wiig, Miranda Cosgrove, Steve Coogan, all the people are returning for the 4th installment, and Despicable Me 4 introduces new characters voiced by Will Ferrell, Sofia Vergara, Stephen Colbert, and many others. One critic wrote in his review, on the surface, the Despicable Me cartoons appear to be send-ups of the James Bond franchise, but beneath that slick, spoofy exterior, they're really marshmallow-centered affirmations of good old-fashioned family values. And if you like Despicable Me, this is what, the 6th Despicable Me type movie when you include the Minions and the rise of Gru and all that. So
I mean, Gru just never gets old, and neither do the little minions. Bananas.
So there you go.
I watched the preview. I was like, what is this? I just don't get it. But
Isn't that what they say all the time?
You act like I watch those.
Was
I don't
that
watch
after
them.
Lincoln's time?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He really wasn't much into movies anyway.
Why have I watched it? That's the question.
it was before Alexander's time, so I've never seen any of them.
I think you should dive in. Now's the time.
Dive in now.
Make it happen. All right.
Like you said, you're only 6 movies behind.
I'm going to tell you, Lisa, I feel so much more like at ease with what's going on the internet right now. She
Good.
broke it all
Why?
down. She broke it all down for us.
Oh, okay, yes.
Well,
thank you, Elisa. Appreciate it.
Why? All right, well, coming up, a remarkable show hitting the runway in New York.
Yeah, showing off the highest of fashion for your furry friends and unleashing their inner model.